for those who maybe aren't as versed in DISC or Predictive Index, well, maybe we'll just start with DISC.
Yeah.
Can you explain sort of just, in general, kind of what it is, what all the elements are, and how organizations can appropriately use those indexes, right?
Yeah. So DISC, there's many DISC profiles out there, and there's different DISC types. So some of them you'll see it's dominance, influential, steady, and clarity. Others, it's always dominance, dominance, influential, strategic, and conscientious. So it means the same thing, but different words for it. Yeah. So your dominance profiles, those are your people who are go-getters. They're the ones that see an objective, they're going to get it done. They sometimes also forget about the path to getting there, but they're generally seen as, your go-getters. Your influentials, those are going to be your people that are helping inspire the lead, like as the leader. They're getting you to a better place. Being conscientious, you're thinking about your company. You're thinking about the big picture as a whole and how each of the little things affect everything. And then you have your strategic, your stability, your support. Those are your people who are very people-oriented, and they are making sure that people as a whole are good, and they're very at the individual level of saying what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
You need all four of those personality types to make a company successful. You need that driving force. You need the inspirational person that can articulate the words of that driving force. You need the person who's going, wait, how is this going to affect this area? You need that. And you also need that support. You need those people that are going to be there. And that's what they're there for, is to help grow individuals. And everybody has a little bit of each of those personalities in them. It's how you utilize it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them may be more energy expelling. If you are someone who is very high in dominance, but very low in the S, the support stability, and you have to use that side of your personality, it might be a little bit more draining because that's not what you're used to. But if you're that support person, it's the same. And you have to use the dominance, and it's like, this is exhausting for me. But you have to use all of them in order to be successful. And we need to know, it helps us know where our strengths and weaknesses are and what we can do well in areas that we grow. Everyone has room for growth.
And, correct me if I'm wrong, these are primarily tools for communication between individuals, not necessarily ways to weed out who should be at the company.
Absolutely. No, it is just a way for managers and team members to be able to communicate with each other and understand their different personality styles. Once again, kind of bringing Chrissy and I into it together because I know ours very well. I have that individualistic predictive index. Chrissy is a collaborator, and she's very, very social oriented. She's very people oriented. She's very good at getting down to the personal levels. So when we communicate with each other, I am very much like, here's the metrics. Here's what we got to do. This is what we're going to hit. And then Chrissy's very much of, hey, but how is this going to affect everybody? You need to have those metrics, but you also have to have the human element into it. You can't base somebody off their metrics. You can't base somebody off of what a piece of paper says, because people are people. Mm-hmm. But you can utilize these tools to help communicate and build the communication styles. We're all very different, but once we learn how to communicate with each other and push away all the other stuff, that's what helps people grow. Communication is probably the most powerful tool of your professional life, your personal life. Like, it's the most important thing that people have. So utilizing things like DISC, Predictive Index, Enneagram, other personality tests, they're tools to help you be a better person, to be a better leader, to be a better communicator, and to help with the guidance. They're also better tools for the individual to say, okay, yeah, this is something that I would like to work on, or, yep, I recognize this in myself, and that's one of my strengths. It shouldn't be the end all be all by any means, because people are still people at their core. And just because on paper somebody might say, look like the most perfect thing for this position that you need, and then they're not. Or it might look at it and say, oh, these are none of the, personality traits I'm looking for, but they excel. because this is just your interpersonal self and your work self that drives you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not who you are as a person as a whole.